Moti is a Chief Business Officer at Windmill Groups, where she leads strategic growth across sales, marketing, and client engagement in the UAE. She is responsible for strengthening market positioning, build trusted client relationship, and drive sustainable business development. Ms. Barakah plays a key role in enhancing Windmill Group reputation for integrity, accuracy, and excellence in real estate valuation and business surveying services. Thank you. Please welcome.
Could you help me connect?
You can use and you can use this as a clicker.
Okay, perfect. In the pocket? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to the ICAI Abu Dhabi Chapter for inviting me over to speak a little bit about the real estate market of the UAE. And just because we are in Abu Dhabi, the focus of today's presentation will be on Abu Dhabi in particular. So the agenda for today's presentation would be that I'm just going to give a short introduction about myself, about windmills, and just to get everyone engaged in the room, we're going to do a quiz. So we're going to have to scan a QR code, and from that we all can collectively learn a little bit more about where the UAE real estate market is heading. So can we just go on the first slide, Pooja, where I can introduce myself? So as per the introduction that happened earlier, I am the head of business at Windmills. Windmills is a leading valuation and building surveying company. We are primarily based out of Dubai, but we do have offices in Abu Dhabi and Ajman, so we can service all our clients throughout the country. I'm also a registered valuer in the 3 Emirates that I mentioned earlier, and have consistently been given the 5-star ranking. And by education, I do have an LLB, and then I decided to do something a little bit more interesting and get a master's in real estate. Pooja, can we start the Kahoot? In the meantime, if everybody can get their phones ready to scan the QR code. Okay, sorry, just a slight delay in things. Okay, so while we wait, does anyone have any perspective that they would like to share about the real estate market of the UAE, or any questions that may intrigue them? Maybe I'll try my best to answer them.
Is it investable right now?
Sorry?
Do you think it's a bubble right now?
A bubble? Well, there's so much happening in the market. There's so many transactions being recorded. So one could say that it's a bubble, but there's a lot of reasons as to why people are choosing to invest. One of the many things is that, there's so many government initiatives in place. For example, we've got the golden visa. Everybody, and with all the visa restrictions happening for many nationalities otherwise, in my personal opinion, I think it's all these government initiatives are in place to facilitate the real estate market. So that's just like a short answer. But I do think that we could expect some sort of stabilization, but not in the coming months. I think it's going to be a while. There's also a big there's a lot of supply in the market. So one might say that this could be a bubble, but if you look at the population growth of the UAE, we're seeing close to 20,000 people moving in every single month. I do think that whatever is being built right now, and and the activity we see in the market is to suit the future needs of the UAE. I hope that answers your question a little bit.
Just a follow on.
Sure.
Do you expect the rents to correct first or the property prices to correct first?
So in my presentation, I will be showing you some of the trends in Q4 and throughout the year, which shows a slight decrease in the rental yields. So I am in the personal opinion that we might be seeing a rental correction as before a sales or, apart like prices correction. But that's also just due to the fact that there's more demand for end users and for people wanting to buy their property as opposed to renting. So that's personally why I think that we will see a correction in the rents first. Okay, if everybody can just scan the code, I think we will be learning a lot from this. If you can't scan it, I think you can just go on Kahoot and put in the game pin. Okay. Can you see how many people have joined on this? Okay, we've reached, so we're going to start. So whoever wins this quiz, we do have a small gift card for you. So let's see who has the best knowledge of the UAE real estate market. And you'd only have 10 or 15 seconds to answer, so it has to be quick. So which emirate records the highest level of transaction volumes in the UAE? Don't skip it. How does it work? Okay. So the correct answer is Dubai. Dubai indeed is recording the highest level of transactions in the UAE, but we will be looking into more of the data per emirate in the presentation. Next question. So DS is number 1 so far. Okay. What percentage of Dubai transactions are typically off-plan in strong market cycles? Sorry?
Anything could be correct.
Nope, there's one correct answer based on data that Windmills has prepared. So just to note, Q4 hasn't finished yet, so Windmills just has a very strong data team, so all the data that we're presenting today is based on our internal calculations, and yeah. Okay, BL is at number 1 now. Next one. Which buyer group dominates the UAE real estate demand today? Oh, I think that must be a mistake. What's INS?
Institute.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. Whoopsies, apologies for that. What is the average gross rental yield for residential property in Dubai? Okay, great. Next one. Okay, why did transaction values grow faster than average residential prices in Abu Dhabi? So transaction values is the overall value of the properties collectively. Okay, the next question. Which segment emerged as a key demand driver in Abu Dhabi? What is most in demand in Abu Dhabi? The answer is branded residences. Cool, okay. What is the typical current range of residential mortgage rates in the UAE? So Prashant is on the top right now. I think we just have 4 more questions and then we'll get into the presentation. Which emirate recorded the highest average apartment price per square foot? Okay, the correct answer was Ras Al Khaimah. This was actually even a shock to me, to be honest. So which Abu Dhabi locations attracted the highest value transactions? Okay, Mr. Prashant stays on top. Well done, Mr. Prashant. Okay. So what is the average increase of rents of apartments in Abu Dhabi? Ooh, Mr. Tejas has come on top. There's tough competition now. Okay, which segment recorded the strongest rental growth? Mid-range and affordable apartments seem to be the fastest moving. And now we're at our last question. Mr. Prashant is back on top. Okay, now let's see if Mr. Prashant can stay on the top of the leading board. Okay, so which segment is leading growth across the UAE in this last quarter of 2025? Okay, Mr. Abraham at 3rd place, Mr. RK at 2nd place, and number 1 is Mr. Prashant. Congratulations. Okay, if you can just come on the stage and I'll give you your gift card now, if that's okay. I don't think I need the receipt. Keep the receipt. Huh? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Back at the presentation, please. Okay, so we're just going to start off with a brief UAE macroeconomic overview of the UAE. So we all know the UAE has a really has a very stable economy. And I think my presentation outlines basic macroeconomic factors like GDP, non-oil GDP, oil prices, etc. I think we are facing another technical issue. Oh, I have the clicker, cool. How do I, okay, there we go. So overall, the numbers look good, promising, especially for us people who do business and work here. But I think the most important factor for me and the most interesting factor is the UAE population. As mentioned, we're seeing close to 20,000 people moving into the UAE every month. And by 2026, we're expecting 12 million people to be moving here. So that automatically drives the demand for real estate in the market. And we can see that the numbers are consistently going up every single year. for the sake of time, because I am on a time crunch, I will be speaking about the UAE real estate market overall, and I will be touching upon just Q4 data. Bear in mind, we're not done with Q4 yet. This is just Windmills' internal data that we've collected. And I'm going to be talking about all property types and all property classes in these numbers. So overall, we see a lot of off-plan launches. We see a lot of high-value transactions, especially in the luxury and branded residences space. Because of that, we also see a lot of internal growth within the country. We see large structural developments. I know, because I live in Dubai, I know there's a lot of road works happening at World Trade Center. We see a lot of works happening at Al Qudra. We see a lot of investment even in just the drainage systems of the UAE, just because we see Dubai being a very fast-paced, large city. Sorry, Dubai and UAE being a big country as well in terms of the growth that we're hoping to achieve. And overall, all Emirates are presenting high transaction volumes. Everybody is selling, every Emirate is selling more and more over the months. And we still see that the luxury segment is being quite dominated across all Emirates. But in terms of the fastest moving properties is mid-range, affordable living, and mostly in the space of apartments. This is the Q4 data that we have collected for sales transactions by Emirates. Dubai is leading at present at 360.8 billion dirhams worth of transactions and 60,000 in terms of volume. It is leading, but Abu Dhabi is a close second in Q4, where we have around 38.5 billion dirhams worth of transactions and with a number of 12,800 recorded transactions in the market. I think I'm saying transactions too much, so I will try to reduce that. Whoops. Okay, this is a comparison of Q3 2025 and Q4 2025. You can see some of the numbers in the negative, but bear in mind we do have a couple of days left till the end of the year, and I'm pretty sure that these transactions will be posted soon and the numbers will beat Q3. But so far in Dubai, we're seeing, as I mentioned, 160.8 billion worth of transactions being recorded and 38.5 billion in Abu Dhabi.
Can you clarify one data point?
Sure.
So, how does this calculation work? When you say
Total
total value?
value?
So, it's a value of, say, 1 million apartment.
Yeah.
That's the price.
Yes.
You pay 20,000 dirhams to book it, and then you pay 100% of the cost.
Yeah.
So, the entire 1 million is calculated in that 160?
Yeah, the entire 1 million is calculated, yeah. Because that's how the transaction is posted on the data by the government.
Yeah, but when you look at the audited financial statements of the developer,
Yeah.
you will see 20,000 and not 1 million. Yeah? So there's a big mismatch of data shown by the government.
Sure, but
The reality on the books.
yes, of course. So that is a very valid point. But for us, oops, I keep doing that, sorry. But for us, we look at what the government authorities are posting on their website. So if we're seeing 1 million being recorded as a transaction by the government, we're picking that up, if that makes sense.
No real audit of that.
Not really, not to my knowledge, no. And as valuers, we look at what's being transacted in the market, not based off the books, if that makes sense. Okay. In terms of our Q4 performance, I have mentioned the transaction value and numbers, transaction volume and value before. But overall, there's a lot of active mortgage registrations happening, a lot of end user demands, and the blue showcases the residential supply of 2024 in Q4 of 2025, and the orange is basically showing the under construction properties that we are expecting to see and launch, that are going to be launching in the coming years. So the numbers are going up. There's a lot more coming into the market, and that is potentially to fulfill the demand of the many people that will be moving into the UAE. Here's a quarter by quarter breakdown of the Dubai sales transactions in the market. Q2 was particularly strong for Dubai. This is just Dubai for now. And Q4 is also at 160.8. Again, the year has not ended, so hopefully it might be the strongest year, or it's anticipated to be the strongest quarter of 2025. Now we move on to Abu Dhabi, and I'll just try to go through this as quick as possible. We've seen a total sales of 38.5 billion in quarter 4 amongst 11,327 transactions. There's about, out of which 3,607 were recorded as mortgages, which is just, again, indicating a strong end user demand and also for personal investment. The top performing areas are, of course, the islands of Abu Dhabi. You've got Yas, Saadiyat, and Al Reem. And overall, we've got a lot of momentum in the market. The most interesting factor for me was that we can expect to see about 7,900 units approximately in the residential space to be launched in Abu Dhabi in the coming years. So that means a lot more opportunity for investors to buy residential property. This is again a quarterly breakdown, and you can see quarter 4, which is not even ended yet, is recording the highest number of residential transactions at 29.8 billion and around 7,720 recorded transactions in the market in terms of that volume. I've also taken some time to talk about the commercial space in Abu Dhabi because sometimes that could be overlooked. We're seeing a total volume of 104 units at 1.8 billion. Again, quite comparable to quarter 2, but quarter 4 is not ended, so maybe it may be the strongest performing quarter in the commercial sales space as well. I've also taken some time to look into the island specifically because I think that is where most of our Abu Dhabi investors are putting their money in. Al Reem Island is by far the most highest performing and highly transacted area of Abu Dhabi, with a total of 3.4 billion of sales recorded in quarter 4. This is overall in 2025, with a total volume of 1,768. And I think we've done this in a way that is descending. So the best performing is Al Reem Island and Yas Island at the end. Answering someone's questions on rental yields, there's a downward trend, unfortunately, but by a minimal margin, just because there's more demand for people to buy and live in their houses themselves, so end user demand, as opposed to just buying for the sake of renting it out or whatever of those reasons. But essentially, there is end user demand. That's why we see more mortgages being recorded in the UAE. And this could perhaps indicate that there might be rental stability. So answering one of the audience's questions here. And we see every single quarter there's a decline in the rental yields in apartments and villas specifically. The reason why I haven't been able to show information about commercial and industrial assets is because the quarter hasn't ended yet, so we're waiting on some data to be released by the authorities. But hopefully, if any of you are interested in receiving Windmills' yearly real estate report, which is tackling all asset classes across all Emirates, please do feel free to drop your business card with me, and I'll have that emailed over to you at the end of the year. So overall, Abu Dhabi's real estate market is quite stable. It's growing. We see a lot of residential supply coming in. There's steady tenant demand as well. Despite the falling yields, I think there's still a great opportunity to rent. Quarter on quarter, we're seeing a capital appreciation of 4 to 6% in apartments, and a yearly increase of 15 to 18% in apartments as well. So I think that's a really big percentage for investors who are investing in smaller properties. And the mid-range and affordable markets and segments remain to be the most preferred in this market in the UAE. We also see a 4 to 10% quarterly increase in prime apartments, so that means luxury apartments, and a yearly increase of 10 to 25%. One may argue that these ranges are quite large, but given the unique characteristics of properties, no property is the same. Some see a higher capital appreciation, some see lower capital appreciation. That is just depending on many property attributes like location, upgrades, precision, everything, marketability, everything. So yeah, and I think what we've seen in prime apartments is that there's a limited supply and a very strong demand for them. And lastly, villas see a quarterly increase of 2 to 10% and a yearly increase of 5 to 18. Again, a lot of family demand and very limited availability. You see a lot more apartment launches as opposed to villa community launches. So thank you very much. Should we be able to serve any of your valuation needs, please do let us know. And if you are interested in our research report, it will be posted on our social media, our website, and you can obviously drop your business cards with me so I can have that sent over to you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank
very
you.
engaging. Thank you.
I hope it was.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Krishna.
Thank you. To send the recording to Papa.
Yes, will do.